To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up or still does that makes you want to have a close relationship with her now?
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. I love this video. You need to watch this video to the end. So this video is a video of a sister who came online to ask a question talking about people that have amazing relationship with their mom. What is the things or what is that thing your mom did to help you and your mom to be best friend and you still have an amazing relationship with your mom as a adult. And she talked about how she and her mom they don't get along, and now she has her own kids. She can't even imagine she and her kids, especially her daughter, not having an amazing relationship. And this has struck a bigger conversation that has gotten a lot of people sharing their story. What are the things their mom did that helps their relationship for them and their mom to be like best friend and all that? I know here on this channel sometimes we can really share some really deep and heavy talk talking about toxic parent, toxic partner and all that. But sometimes I feel like it's good to really talk about the positive side. Not all parents are bad, and some people have amazing relationship with their parents, with their mom. And I feel like this is a place for us to have this conversation, and I'm so here for it. So this is a very positive video of women sharing their relationship with their mom and the things their mom did that helped them to build a better relationship. And I'm going to share some of the things myself and my mom did that helped us to build an amazing relationship, coming from a relationship that was we're fighting head to head. We did not see eye to eye. I'm going to share my own story, but I love this so much. But anyway, guys, let's go check out what this sister have to say, and then I'll come back and share more of my thoughts. But let's go check out, and then we'll come back and talk more.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up or still does that makes you want to have a close relationship with her now? Because I know a lot of women, myself included, who either don't talk to their moms at all or who do not have good relationships with them, who have had to like cut them off for whatever reason. The girls who are like this with their moms, what did she do? Like, what is it about her that makes you still want to be so close? My twins are only one now, but when I think about my baby girl, these are things that I think about a lot as I see so many adult women who have strained relationships with their moms. I want to hear from the girls who have great relationships with their moms. What is it about your mom that makes you want to stay so close to her?
Please go down in the comment section, share your thoughts about what she said down in the comment section. This video made a lot of women to come share their own experience and their relationship with their mom. I have had a lot of, like myself and my mom, we have an strained relationship, but now we're in a better place. And I'm going to share it with you guys my own how me and myself and my mom was able to get to that place. But I want to know your own take down in the comment section. What is your relationship like with your mom? Are you close with your mom? And if you're close with your mom, what is that thing your mom did that made you and your mom so close and still wants you to keep going back to her over and over again? And if you're not close to your mom, what is that thing your mom did that you don't want to have anything to do with your mom? I'd love to know your own take down in the comment section. Okay, so go down and share your own thought. But before we go hear other women share their own story, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the perfect time for you to smash the subscribe button, okay? Because we post videos every day. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified as soon as I upload video, because I post video every single day. And you don't want to miss 2 videos every day, and we'll have an amazing conversation here on this channel. You don't want to miss out on it. So let's go check out other women's thoughts on this, and then I'll come back and share my own personal thought and story. So share yours down in the comment section.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up?
Pick me, pick me, pick me. One thing that my mom did and continues to do for me is to be extremely compassionate. I think she's a compassionate person by nature, but with me, she's handled my sister and I with so much care and so much love and so much compassion. She listens, she apologizes sometimes. She apologizes. And because of that, it makes me want to remain being extremely close to her. And because of that, I am a better parent, a better mother to my daughters as well. There were times, obviously, where we didn't get along all the time, but she never stopped being compassionate and she never stopped listening to me. Till this day, I'm still her. Oh man, I'm gonna cry. But till this day, my mother always makes sure that whatever happens, she's got my back.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up?
In short, my mother did not care if I liked her. My mother sacrificed being liked by me as I grew up to help raise me to be a person who deserved her friendship when I was old enough for us to become friends. My mother let me think she was the worst person in the world if it meant that I was safe, loved, and supported. If I messed up, and I did a lot, she made me accept the consequences, but she also made sure that I understood why I had those consequences, and she supported my feelings and emotions about it without taking away the lesson that I needed to learn. And I got pregnant at 16, so I'm not talking about small lessons. When I did get pregnant, she respected that it was my body and my choice on what I wanted to do. And when I made the choice to keep the child, she made a plan of action on what responsibilities I needed to take on and what I needed to do to succeed. It was not her job to be my friend. It was her job to raise me to be someone deserving of friendship.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up?
I've been thinking about this video all week, and I even asked my mom what things she intentionally did to cultivate a good relationship with me. A few things from my perspective is I think she really put her ego aside, and I think motherhood and parenthood generally is so difficult because you have to leave your ego at the door. To your kid, you're not who you are to the outside world, you're just their parent. She also made so many sacrifices for me without making me feel guilty for said sacrifice. She let me develop my own dreams and goals and ambitions and only instilled a value system in me, not the want for like certain material things. And I got every love language from her in full force. From her perspective, something she said was, I've always had really strong opinions. So like if I didn't want to go somewhere, I would be like, I don't want to go. And I'm still very discerning and picky like that. But she really respected that and treated my opinions as those of an adult. She really actively wanted me to be a thinking child and to be independent. She also said the biggest thing she did was, while she emotionally respected me, she always was physically affectionate with me like she would be with a baby. Like she was always hugging me and kissing me, and we're still just like very close like that. I truly think that makes a difference. Finally, I think she really led with unconditional love and wanted to be a good mom. I think a lot of people want children, but they don't want to be good parents, and that is a huge difference. But if you care and you're going through the comments or stitches of this video, I think you just will be because you care enough to want to be.
What's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up or still does that makes you want to have a close relationship?
She recognized when to give support versus when to give solutions. The video cut off a little bit, so I'll repeat the question, but this woman asked, so the women who are close with their mom growing up are close now and still want to maintain that closeness. What is something that our moms did to make that possible? And my mom was always able to recognize when I wanted comfort and support versus when I needed solutions or advice. I think all the emotions that you go through in your lifetime, especially puberty, I had so many different emotions experiencing around friends, breakups. There were times where I just wanted somebody to listen. I wanted to cry. I wanted a hug. I wanted somebody to acknowledge my feelings, that what I was going through was hard and that it was okay. And then there was also times where I was scared and I wanted step-by-step solutions, or I wanted advice on how to get myself out of the problem that I was in. It kept the problem. And anytime my mom and I weren't on the same page, I was able to just tell her, I'm looking for support right now. I'm not looking for a solution. Again, it kept the problem, and it really preserved our relationship. And I think that works for any family relationship. And I think it works for also intimate relationships. And luckily I have a mom who really was able to acknowledge and recognize herself without me saying much. But if you think about how easy it is to ask somebody, are you looking for solutions or are you looking for support? How many conversations or fights or arguments could be de-escalated?
Who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up or still does?
I'm going to give you 5. 3 from when I was a teenager and 2 that we still do today. So when I was a teenager, we had this open door policy where once a month we would get together and we would sit and talk about anything, and she couldn't get mad. That shit was great. Another thing that my mom did that was really cool was that she supported me. So I wanted to be an actress, so my mom moved me from the Caribbean to LA and then paid outstate tuition because I wanted to become an actress. And then I realized I didn't want to become an actress, I wanted to become a producer. So then, yeah, same thing, same field, but she still paid for it. So she supported me, and she still supports me till today. And then when I was in high school, we used to go back and forth a lot. And there was this rule where we had to talk it out before we would go to bed, and we had to say, I love you. Now, as an adult, I live in LA, my mom lives in Costa Rica, and we try to talk every day. If I'm really busy because I'm working and I can't talk to my mom every day, she'll send me a text and be like, Mama loves you, which is the cutest thing. Or like, you're the best daughter in the world and I'm proud of you. So that's really good because she supports me still to today. And then the last thing that I think is really important is that we respect each other's boundaries. So for me, my mom used to scream when we would argue because, I'm an adult and I think I know it all. So she would try to talk over me and I'd be like, yo, like, you're not listening. So I would hang up the phone. And then eventually she picked on, which was also not the best way, but she figured it out that she has to listen to me. So now we enforce our boundaries with each other. And it's like, hey, I'm uncomfortable. This is what I need you to do. What do you need? So instead of being like, this is what I can do, it's more of like, what do you need from mama? What do you need mama to do? Because sometimes I just need you to listen. And that's what I want you to do. So that's more of where we're at now with setting boundaries. So yeah, I hope that helps.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up?
Nothing. The answer is nothing. So my perspective on this is that at the end of the day, that's your mom. So I can't remember anything specific that she ever did, like, oh, to make me want to love her for the rest of my life. But hey, we are going to be cool in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I even hear that once you have kids, you even get this even cooler relationship with your mom because y'all share that childbirthing experience. My perspective on your answer is just a little different. There's nothing specific that my mom did, but I just know that that's my dog. We can go 2 days without talking and pick up where we left off. It's unconditional love. You're never going to get rid of me. But I'm interested to hear your perspective, like a little bit more about you and your mother's relationship, because just a question like what specifically our parents did or our mother did for us to still want to be friends with them is interesting. So it sounds like there may be some trauma there, and I'm totally invested. This is my side of TikTok. I'd love to hear from you. But I hope that I answered your question. My authentic answer is nothing. My mom loved us with everything she had, and I know that I can call her today if I'm in a bind. So, but it's just, I loved hearing all the stitches, but the answer is nothing for me.
What is it about your mom that makes you want to stay so close to her?
Oh, I got you on this one. So, my mom passed away last year from pancreatic cancer, and I had the best relationship with her ever. She was my hero, my sweetheart, and just everything in between. Like, my siblings can attest to this. We all have an amazing relationship with my mom. But the one thing that always made me want to have a close relationship with her is the fact that she just radiated kindness and radiated love to everybody. She loved herself so much and she loved her life so much and she loved her relationship with God so much that it just poured out to me and it poured out to my siblings. She knew how to make me feel like a kid, even as an adult, even as a grown adult, could pay my own bills, could handle life by myself. And when the world felt so heavy, when I would see her, just her love that she poured onto me, it just made everything go away. And it sounds so simple. And I know that for moms, like, it's just like, how do I do that? Like, the way that you show up every day, own your mistakes, and just make sure that you're good with yourself so that your love pours out onto your kids. It was always way more than enough. And her love came from all places. Again, it's nothing like extravagant. It came from just the way that she would cook when I would come home. The way that she would be like, oh, let's sit and drink coffee and watch our show. The way that when I would be getting ready, she would just look at me and out of nowhere, she'd be like, you look so beautiful. She never had any hatred in her heart for anybody, anything. And especially for me and my siblings, she always wanted us to win. This made it so easy for me to just come to her about absolutely anything in my life. I never had to worry about her judging me. I never had to worry about her being jealous of me because every single thing that came from her was always with love. She was by far one of the most selfless people on this planet. I just hope one day I can be even half of the woman that she is. I miss her very, very much.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, What's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up?
Well, she did a lot of good things, but I think the ones that stood out for me was she would actually take accountability of her actions if they had wronged any of her kids. She would sit down, have a conversation, and actually apologize. And that was a big thing for me. I knew my mom wasn't one of my little friends, but I knew for a fact that she was my safe place. Like I could go to her about anything. She made sure of that. And again, that's a huge thing. She complimented her children. She encouraged us to be individuals and explore like who we are. Yeah, and I feel like I never felt caged in. And I think that's a big, big thing. Like I always knew that I could explore myself as a person. And I always knew that I had a home to go back to if anything went wrong. Like I traveled very young, and she always said like, yeah, go ahead and travel. I never got a chance to do that, so go ahead and do it. And if anything goes wrong, you know you have a home. So it's like that security, that ground of knowing like even if something went wrong, I could always go home, because there was love there was acceptance there. And I also think she never lost her inner child because she likes cracking jokes. She likes dancing. So there was always a lot of dancing and singing and cracking jokes in my home. So like it was always fun. Like it was always fun being home. Like you had a great time being home because she was funny, and she made sure like to keep smiles on our faces to keep us laughing. We didn't have a lot growing up, but she made it so fun in sharing. So like we always wanted to share, and she always instilled this confidence like, hey, this will not be your forever life. Like you are gonna be great, and you will do more, and you'll become better than I ever could. And I think that like she was instilling confidence like this is not it, like you would do great. So yeah, my mom's really one of my best friends. Like she's a cool ass person. I love her and I like her as a person too. And I just stumbled upon this quote that said, my mom clapped for me so loud that I never noticed who wasn't. And she sure did.
What's one thing that your mom did while you were growing up or still does that makes you want to have a close relationship?
I had to respond to this right now, even though I'm getting ready for bed. Other people were talking about this one point. It really stuck with me, and I think it's why my mom and I are so close, and ultimately why I had to go no contact with my other biological parent many moons ago. When you are raising a child, the majority of your relationship with them is going to be when they are an adult. So everyone talks about having kids, but what everyone forgets, or what I feel a lot of people forget, is you're raising an adult. So if you treat your child a certain way when they're growing up, when they're an adult, they're going to remember that that's still a person. Our kids are little people walking around. If you yell at them, if you hit them, if you disrespect them, if you manipulate them, when they grow up, they're going to either unfortunately repeat that pattern or heal and realize how messed up it was that we were treated a certain way. Whether that's big abuses, small abuses, doesn't really matter. It's all the same. My mom always treated me like a person at the end of the day. She always believed in me. She always was my biggest fan. She always had my back. She always was my scapegoat if I ever needed to like cut off a friend or figure out some way to get out of something. She would just say, blame me. She still does to this day. And I think about this now as I hear certain friends of mine or see certain people posting like, why doesn't my kid talk to me? Or why don't they call me as much, or whatever that looks like. And I just think it really does start when your kids are kids. Do you create and foster that closeness with them? Are you a safe space for them to come to you? Do you genuinely care about them, or how are you acting towards them? And when they come to you about what's not working for them in relationship with you, are you receptive to it? Are you working on yourself too? Because these are things that matter so much. Now that I have a child, a baby, technically a toddler now, I think about this a lot with him, like how I want to be to him now so that he grows up and is well adjusted, but also like what kind of relationship do I want with him for his entire life? Not just treat him like a kid, like he knows nothing, he's just a kid, or like I know better, or I know better about him than him, or, just those things, those little things that make a huge difference in the long run. And that matters with how close you are with your child as an adult. If you're close with your child when they're young, that creates a lot of closeness as an adult. And especially once your kids have kids, if you don't have a relationship with them where they want to call you and let you know what's going on in their life, and you are a safe space for them and you have been, that's not going to change when they're an adult. So I could go on forever about this because I had one parent who was so solid and amazing, and one parent who was so abusive, and stories for another day. But ultimately, I think about this a lot. No parent's perfect. I certainly am not going to be, nor am I going to put that pressure on myself to be, nor do I expect my mom to be either. But ultimately, she treated me like a person. She validated my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs. When I go to her about things that aren't working, she's open to it. Like, she also lets me know when things I'm doing isn't working. And I think ultimately that's what we want, right? Like, no relationship is perfect, but are you as a parent meeting the needs that your child needs from you? Not just when they're a baby, but when they're a toddler, when they're, if you're screaming at your toddler all the time, they're going to remember that. Like, you start to remember these things, how you're treated, and either you, like I said, go back into that cycle, unfortunately, or you break the cycle. And with that comes distance from the person who treated you that way, unless that person is like in therapy working on themselves. Those are my thoughts.
To the girls who are really close with their moms, what's one thing that your mom did while you were growing?
I'm really close with my mom now that I'm grown, and I can't say that she did one thing. I feel like she did a whole bunch of different things in order to cultivate this, closeness. And growing up, I can clearly remember that, like, she was very intentional with cultivating a friendship. And even though parents will say that, oh, I'm not one of your little friends, my mom would say that, yeah, from time to time, but she would also often say that, don't worry, your mom's superwoman. I can be your best friend, your sister, and your mom. I know how to do this, which was really like, it's just like, okay, this woman's just doing too much. But she was also very genuinely interested in my life, and she would listen to every one of my little stories. She would carve out time to like actually have like proper conversation, just the two of us, for as long as I can remember. Up to this day, my mom still calls me. I haven't seen her in a long time, and I pray to God that I see her soon. My mom has still called me for all the years that I've been here, like around 9-10 every day without fail. And we speak like we are literally best friends. And yeah, like, which is very rare for like a parent from the generation that my mother was from. So she parented how she saw fit, not how like society was telling her to parent, because if she had done that, I don't think I'd be close with her. She was also very transparent with the fact that she didn't just wake up an adult. So when it comes to like things like boys, for example, she was very open with her experiences, how she felt at a particular age, which allowed me to then feel safe and express what I was feeling or what I was experiencing at that age. Like, it was only in high school that I realized that people were not close with their mothers and they were not talking about boys with their moms, because my mom knew every one of my little boyfriends and crushes. I remember my first heartbreak. That woman helped me get through that. I didn't have to navigate through heartbreak like hiding from my family or anything. She knew very much who I was dating. She still knows to this day, and all of these things, whoever I'll be talking to or whatever. And it's because she shared her experiences, so it was like, it made me feel safe to share what I was feeling. She wasn't being naive, like, oh, you're 13, you probably don't like boys, or like saying, oh, stay away from this. Also, she would tell me the reasons why certain things are just not applicable. Now, granted, she's an African parent still, yeah, she can over sensationalize things, but I feel like her humanizing her experience and not just seeming like she woke up an adult who had everything figured out really helped me feel close to her, and yeah, like, my mom is the best, and I pray one day I'll be able to like give her all her flowers and
she's the sweetest ever. Like, everyone who knows me knows that my mom is like a big part of my life. So I think, yeah, just being intentional with actually being there and being like a friend, I don't know, to your daughter would really help. But yeah, that's all I can say. Oh, and another thing, this video is becoming too long. Accountability. I didn't learn like how to apologize from like therapy and like working on myself. I actually learned it from my parents. My parents were not afraid to say sorry when they were wrong to this day, which I feel like a lot of parents probably don't do. Yeah, like she would often apologize to me when she was actually wrong, which made me also become a person who is not afraid to admit when they're wrong. And yeah, like she's not perfect, so she did get it wrong sometimes, but when she would see that, okay, she got it wrong, she'd be like, I'm really sorry for how I treated you or acted. And she's been doing this for as long as I can remember. That's another important thing to note. But yeah, that's it.
I love this conversation. I love this conversation. Please go down in the comment section and share your own thoughts and story down in the comment section. Love to know your own take down in the comment section, okay? But please, you guys know how we do it. Yeah, keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. We're here to have conversations, so go ahead, share your thought, but be respectful. It's a safe space, so feel free. Share your story, share your thought. All right. So yeah, it's my own take on this. I personally, if you're watching me for a while, you know, I talk about my mom, how myself and my mom were very unstraight, we don't get along. And the funny part is that I am like the 100% opposite of my mom. Like, if you want to see somebody that is words and opposite, it's me and my mom. And for the longest time, especially as a young child, I didn't get along with my mom. Myself and my mom, I had a whole lot of anger, resentment, pain. I felt like my mom treated me unfair as a child. I felt like my mom actually abused me, like physically abused me, and even mentally abused me and all that. But we got to a place where both of us are able to talk things out and then heal and do the whole work. And now I'll say my mom is like one of the closest persons to me ever. And I feel like I'm one of the closest person to her now. To think back years ago, like over 20 years ago, but both of us don't see eye to eye on anything. Like, my mom cannot stand me. My mom, like, no, my mom couldn't stand me. I could not stand my mom. Everything my mom does, if my mom is going left, I want to go right. That's how bad I could not stand my mom. But one of the things my mom did and that helped our relationship, and the crazy that our relationship healed and got better as I grew older. One of it is that my mom listened. I still remember the conversation 2019 where we had my mom. Even before that 2019, she has been trying to do the work, like trying to really listen and not judge and not just be a parent and all that. And that helped the projection that happened 2019. She came to visit me, and then we had a conversation. I was pregnant, but eventually had a miscarriage, and she was here, well, that she was very heartbroken and all that. But why me? I was just like, okay, ready to go on with my life. And she sat me down. She was like, you're going through a lot of emotions and you need to heal. And like, in terms of, she knows I'm going through something, but I need to. But one thing my mom has always done with me, and that made me have some type of resentment to her. My mom does not go really hard on me. My mom does not show me a lot of affection. My mom does not stand on business when it comes. And when I mean, like, my mom does not go all the way. I felt like my mom does not go all the way for me. That's how I felt. So by the time I started having the conversation with my mom and I started talking about therapy, I'm starting therapy and all that. And my mom was asking me, why am I starting therapy and all that? And I told her that, because I told her I wanted to start. No, I already started therapy when she came. So I told her that I'm starting therapy. And I'm talking through my traumas and all that. And one of the person that really stands out on my trauma and all that is you. You caused a lot of pain and trauma on me. And she was asking me that why was I going to therapy, because she could not understand why. Because in my society, I keep referring to my society and my culture, guys, pardon me, because that's what I know, and I know it can be different from everywhere. In my society, going to a therapy, talking to a therapist or having a therapy, it seems as if you are mad. Like, it's not a thing you should talk out openly or have a conversation about it openly. It's a thing like you do. It's a thing of shame, and most times people go to therapy when things are bad. But I went to therapy because things were bad with me, but physically, where people see me, they don't know how bad it was. But I knew I needed to talk to somebody, and then my mom was like, why are you going to see, they call therapists like crazy doctor and all that. And I was like, I have a lot of trauma I need to unpack. And she was like, what type of trauma? And my mom does not understand those type of terms and all that, because the generation she was raised, these are not terms that are being used. Talking about mental health, my mom does not comprehend it, even though she knows some of those things, but she can't comprehend it to say you're having mental health struggle. So I sat her down and I told her, like, this is it. There's something they call mental health. And one thing about my mom at that time, my mom was willing to learn. And that's one thing about my mom. Immediately we start becoming adults, especially me, my mom was willing to learn. If she doesn't know something, my mom is not ashamed to say, what is that? I want to know what that is. My mom is not like, my mom is not ashamed to learn. That's one thing about her. And I think that's a very good trait. And I think I got that from her. I didn't think my mom is not ashamed to learn. And I sat her down and I lecture her a lot about mental health and how a lot of the things done to a child can really affect a child. And really that day, it was a really heart-to-heart conversation where she opened up and all that, talked about how she sees me and why she doesn't give me a lot of attention, a lot of time. And that's because, according to her, she said right from time on the get-go as a child, I was very, very independent. I have a mind of my own. I do things. And she has always trusted me as a child that I can take care of myself. And that's why she felt very safe leaving other children, which is my siblings, with me for me to take care of, because I've always been on top of things. I've always take care of things. I always stand on business. And she said that's one thing that gives her that confidence. And she has to look over at my younger brother, my younger ones, because she felt like there was no need, like she didn't need to pour into me because she felt that I was good. And that's not a good way. For her, it was more like a compliment, like I have an independent child. But for me, I was a child that wanted a mother. But I kind of understand because my mom got married in her early 20s. My mom got married really, really young. And then coming from where she had children really young, like me not knowing, I felt like it kind of helped the two of us, because I kind of understand where it comes from, for getting married really young, naive, not knowing who you are, what you are, and then you now have children. My mom was 6 of us, and then start raising these children, and know that I could actually feel the burden, the struggle that comes with it. And then I talk about the mental and the financial abuse that comes with having my dad. My dad, I don't know, I'm in no contact with my dad. I kind of get where she's coming from. So when we start having that conversation, it was a very open, and I do appreciate her, and I know she's going to watch this video. Mommy, I appreciate you that you were very, very transparent, very, very honest, that you, and my mom, but by the time I lay everything out and talked about the trauma she inflicted in me and some of the things that hurt me and that made me, my mom, she did not deny it. She did not try to make excuses for it. She was like, I'm sorry, that has really made an impact in your life. And for me, that just changed everything for the two of us. The fact that she did not try to defend her action or try to make excuses for the trauma she caused me. Rather, she just owned up and said she's sorry for doing that to me, and that was not her intention. That just changed the dynamic of our relationship. And to date, myself and my mom, we don't agree on a lot of things, but one thing she would do is that she will respect my opinion, my thought, my way of life, what I choose to do with my life. And even though she doesn't agree, she will respect it. She will say her part, but she's not going to push. And I do respect that. And I feel like that is what has helped myself and our relationship blossom so much. Myself and my mom were like, And anything I tell my mom, like, this is what I want, this is how I want. Like, I remember when I told her that I don't want kids and all that, and I told her the reasons and why and all that. My mom was like, okay, okay, okay. But I know secretly she wants me, but she gets it. Okay? So, and she respects me. My mom really, like, one thing my mom did do for me is that my mom respects me at my old age. Like, she respects me so much. And the fact that my mom now comes to me for advice. It's crazy. My mom comes, like, it's so amazing how sometimes my mom pick up the phone, she calls me, and she needs an advice from me, and that has really blended up our relationship. I do the same too. Sometimes I call her and I get our opinion on things, and that has really helped our relationship. So yeah, that's what has helped myself and my mom relationship really blossom and be where it is. Oh god, this video is so long. Anyway guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts, but please keep it respectful. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up, okay? Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.